Nothing much happens in Belaly North, and even less in the Mananari Hills. Belaly North is approximately 200 kilometres north of Adelaide. In 1923 it was a small settlement beside the train line from Port Pirie to Peterborough. There was a school, built in 1881, which closed in 1968. Next to the school was the general store, which today stands derelict. A district hall once stood where the War Memorial Gates stand, and there was a Methodist church built in 1923, today a private residence. Mananari, 4 miles to the north of Belaly, was established in the 1870s, and for the first few years began to grow during good farming seasons. A church, a school, a store and a hotel were soon built. A post office opened in 1874. By 1928 the town had a population of 270. In the 2016 census, only 73 people lived in the area. But in October 1923 there emerged a report that a mysterious beast was stalking the farmland and hills of the area. The first reported was dated 27th of October and described the animal as like an outsized cat, with a furry body having a striped pattern and stout legs. The head and neck was reckoned to be about a foot long, the body about 3 feet, and the tail another 2 feet. It was presumably a tawny or ginger colour, as one description said it looked like a mix of fox and cat. It was also said to have a fearsome and wild nature. Several people were said to have seen it, and their descriptions all matched closely. The creature was known well enough by this time to have acquired the name of the Bel-Man Tiger, created from the names of Belaly and Mananari, the districts between which it was seen stalking. It had first been seen around May of 1923, according to someone who wrote a letter to a newspaper, hoping it not to be killed, but captured. But it was a sighting on the 22nd of October that sparked wider interest. That day, the son of a farmer named Axford was on his way to school when he saw the tiger in a broken-down shed on the farm of Joseph Cummings, east of the railway line. Soon after, Sidney Napper, a farmer, saw the beast and corroborated the boy's sighting. It was about 150 yards away from him when he first saw the striped cat-like animal. A party of mounted hunters was formed to track down the tiger. The hunt, held on the 28th of October over wild hilly country, had come close to their quarry, but failed to catch it. 2 stag hounds owned by Mr. Kearns, which were used to hunting foxes, tangled with the Bel-Man Tiger, and came off second best. After a savage combat, one of the dogs was gashed on its throat. The injury was explained away as having been done by a fox, but those who saw the damage said the flesh was torn in a manner not like that a fox would do. The dogs were said to have looked sick and lost their courage following the tussle. One of the dogs had killed 50 foxes. It was believed by some that the animal was an actual tiger, which had escaped from a circus. A railway officer said that a circus had been through just before the Axford boys' sighting. Worley's Circus protested that they did not have an animal like the Bel-Man Tiger, and had not lost any animals during the 2 months they had been travelling in South Australia. Others pointed out that there were many foxes and large feral cats living in the hills. Reports that locals were in terror of the beast, with men sleeping with their guns and dogs howling all night, were laughed off by locals, some of whom at least treated the matter as a joke, and ascribed the sightings to a large house cat. A report that a bullock had been killed and 50 or 60 pounds of meat devoured from the carcass were denied by the bullock's owner, who said his animal was alive and well. On the 30th of October, Frank Palomka saw it coming out of the wheat belt on the railway track. Other hunters hoped to catch the Bel-Man Tiger. It had been seen near a large rabbit warren in the Belaly Hills, which was staked out. The tiger was seen again on the 11th of November 1923 by a resident who stated it was like a big cat, but he could not say exactly what it was. After that, there was nothing more heard of the Bel-Man Tiger. It could have been shot or died of natural causes in some lonely place. It might have continued living in a more remote area, untroubled by startled locals or hunters, or disappeared back into whatever realm it had so briefly emerged from. Nothing much happens in Belaly North, and even less in the Mananari Hills.